Okay, so today we were talking about the previous session by our Bill Proctor. So the importance of four-way test. And I want to start my presentation with the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Can I ask each one of you to repeat after me? Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Is it beneficial to all concerned? And the answer is, sorry.
Is it fun?
Yeah, is it fun? So with that, pretty much everybody repeated after me, so there is no conflict here, so we are proceeding. So even though the topic is conflict management, I don't want to jump on it right away because there are so many terminologies used in the whole segment of this. So one is the conflict management, and then dispute resolution and negotiations. So not only in Rotary life, in our professional lives and our day-to-day lives, we hear quite a lot of this terminology. So I want to start with the differences between these three. Sometimes we don't know which one is first, and that leads to next. So what is conflict management? So it is the focus preventing, minimizing, or controlling conflicts before they escalate. So that means that is the starting point. So conflict is the starting point. And how can we approach that? It's an ongoing process that includes strategies to reduce tensions, improve communication, and foster collaboration. And the key skills needed for that, you don't need to be an expert, this is a day-to-day. It could be as simple as, even as late as yesterday, so we wanted to go out for dinner. So my elder son said, we'll go Italian. And you know how the whole story goes. And then my second son said, let's go Chinese. And my wife said, no, Indian. So on a simple dinner, it started. And how to go about it and how to make sure everybody is win-win-win. So I said guys, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat anything. So the conflict starts as simple as that at our home, and it could be in our professional life or Rotary. And here today we are going to focus more what is needed from the Rotary Clubs and how we deal with it and that point of view.
So where did you go?
Stay home.
You're eating pizza, right?
You went with what your wife says.
Yeah. So what I had to do is I told tonight, because mom wants Indian, so we will go to Indian. So you guys go with your friends tomorrow afternoon, wherever you want to go, and the bill is on me. So I guess for lunch, my elder son is going to Italian and my second son is going to Chinese. So everybody is happy. And in fact, what happened then is he didn't have anything, my elder son, because he said he's going to keep empty and then ready for today, so he can go all you can eat buffet. I don't know which restaurant going to go bankrupt today.
Credit card.
So what is dispute resolution? So when we don't address that at the conflict situation, and obviously that escalates into dispute, which is the next stage. So the focus on this is resolving an active conflict or dispute that has already escalated. That's when the resolution comes into picture. The approach uses formal and informal methods like mediation, arbitration, or legal proceedings to reach a solution. So the key methods: mediation, facilitated discussion with a neutral third party, and arbitration, third party makes a binding decision. And litigation, we don't need to care about it. Rotary, we are family. We are not going to approach lawyers for our disputes. We have a fantastic team. My team, Bruce Hilliers, like he is one of the known criminal law, practicing for probably 4 decades, and he's in my team. And then we have Krista Renner, and also John Stairs. John Stairs has over 50 years. He retired as the vice president of RBC, and Krista Renner does this professionally, a conflict resolution and dispute, all that. So Krista, John, myself, and Bruce Hillier. So 4 of us in our district dispute resolution team. So whenever there is a dispute, obviously if it is not addressed during the conflict situation, like we step in if we are needed. So you have resources available in the district all the time if there is a need for it. Negotiation. So negotiation is the third stage, or like it is a part of a conflict and also a dispute resolution stages, like it happens throughout the process. Reaching a mutually beneficial agreement between 2 or more parties. Why I said like 2 or more parties? Because it's not only 2 individuals or 2 groups have like a conflict and then dispute. Because like we all in Rotary, we take care of so many service projects in our community. It could be a food bank, it could be a shelter, it could be like some environmental project, it could be anything. So each one of us are so passionate, and we all have our pet projects. So the possibilities of conflict happening specifically in 2 departments. One is the service committee, and the other one is the fundraising committee. Normally only these 2 have the potential to have some conflicts. Why? Because each one of us are so passionate, and we try to say like, no, I think like this year we need to do more for shelter. No, the next year we need to do more for this. So that's when the conflict starts. So the negotiations and the approach, a process where parties communicate, compromise, and find a common ground to achieve a win-win outcome. The key skills: persuasion, active listening, problem solving, and bargaining. These are all some of the tools what we use under negotiation. So we talked about 3 different terminologies and how they relate. And I already mentioned, it is not all into one, like one step led to next and then final is the solution. The conflict management is about proactively handling tensions to prevent disputes so that it doesn't escalate into the next stage. Dispute resolution is about resolving existing conflicts that have already escalated. Negotiation is a tool used in both processes to find common ground and achieve an agreement. So here, sometimes the conflict management, I'll talk more about it. So what is conflict? What is one word that comes to your mind or our mind when you hear about the word conflict? As I said, conflict is nothing different than the priorities are like one who wants to do what time. So from that aspect of it, the best bet is to not to involve any third parties, rather identify the person who has like a different opinion, to have direct discussion without we were talking about in our table. The best bet is not to talk about it in public, have one-on-one meeting and try to see whether you can resolve it. If that is not possible, then escalate to the leadership committee of your club. If that is not getting resolved, then it goes to the district governor. And the district governor then assigns to the district dispute resolution team and one of us will be in touch so that like we can talk as a third party. It's not total third party, but still as a neutral party, because the outcome is not going to affect us one way or other. So we are not directly involved with your club at any capacity. So that's where it happens, like, escalating from one-on-one to then group and the leadership and then to the district. So there are a lot of perceptions about conflict. In legal terms, what they say, there is nothing good or bad. Like everything is evidence-based. So when we are not judging a situation, judging a person, it is all based on evidence-based. And so that's the perceptions. So where does it come from? It could be from goals, personality conflicts, scarce resources, the styles, the leadership style. And Bill was asking, like, what is going to be your leadership style? And somebody was mentioning about, like, leading from behind. And there are so many leadership qualities. And that also depends on who the president-elect or the leadership is. The members might have some personal issues with the president-elect or president. Like now, as a leader for 2025, 2026, what is going to be our leadership style? How are we going to make everyone feel inclusive in our clubs so that, we have to earn the respect as a leader as we go along to avoid any potential conflict. They need to have the confidence when you, as the leader for that particular year, I have nothing to worry. That person is there to take care of it for the benefit of the community, for the benefit of the club. What is conflict? Disagreement or dissatisfaction. It's normal and natural. So we have to accept the fact like a conflict happens on a daily basis. So the question is how small it is or how big it is and what is the impact that is going to create for the greater good of our clubs and also the community we serve. Something we deal with all the time, most of the time successfully. And then I'm going to, the word success, it is debatable. So we are going to talk more about it, even though it is mentioned most of the time successfully, and we will talk more about it. What is success? And it is a risk and also an opportunity. If it is unresolved, unproductive conflict, that is the problem. Why does some conflict go unresolved and get unproductive? So these are all the questions we need to ask ourselves. When conflict is unresolved, we not only have solution, the relationship suffers. I have plenty of examples of passionate people. They all are fantastic. They all have a great ideas on how to do better than the previous years. But each one perspective is different, what they want to do in the community, where they want to spend the money, how they want to do the fundraising. And it is not just only one particular club, it happens in every club. In my bio, it was read as I've traveled to 100 countries. And when I talk to, wherever I go, I try to accommodate attending one of the local clubs. And I ask them, okay, what is your top challenge? And whether it is Kenya, whether it is Canada or US or New Zealand, everybody has only the main problems, fundraising and keeping the members engaged. And how well do we do any exit interviews? When somebody wants to go out from our club, we need to know the reason, why they are going. Is it something they don't like? Some of the members they don't get along with? Or they don't like the projects, they don't like some of the fundraising efforts, or what is the reason of them getting out of Rotary? So the positive side of conflict. Conflict can teach you to make the most of each situation and use it as a learning opportunity or as a leadership opportunity. You can also use it as an opportunity to transform the situation into something better. So again, the same thing, If you have $5,000 to spend for a year, and some group says like, okay, let's spend in project A, some says like project B. So if there is a compromising situation, okay, this year we will do 2,500 for project A and 2,500 for project B, and then let's try to do more fundraising so we can give more to your pet project and also the other person pet project. So it is a compromising, accommodating situation. So where everybody, it's not only a win-win, it is a win-win-win because two parties, but we are not the beneficiary of our decisions. It is the community who is going to get the benefit of our decision. So that is why it is very important of every decision what we take. There are 5 styles in conflict management. As I said, like the discussion today is mainly around conflict because we don't want that to escalate into dispute. If that does, like we have tools and people like who are there to support each other. However, the idea is to avoid it if it happens, how to resolve it at the conflict stage itself without escalating into dispute. So here, if you see like accommodating, collaborating, competing, avoiding, and in center is the compromising position. So we are going to deal with each one of them. First is, as you see the graph, like if it is more accommodating and assertive, that gives the compromising. So we'll go, what is accommodating? People who accommodate are unassertive and very cooperative, which is I think like my situation yesterday night about the dinner. Give in during a conflict. Acknowledge they made a mistake and decide it was no big deal. Put relationship first. Ignore issues and try to keep peace at any price. Effective when the other person or party has a better plan or solution. So this is accommodating. We'll be talking about the 5 towards the end of this slide. Next we will look at avoiding. People who avoid conflict are generally unassertive and uncooperative. Avoid the conflict entirely or delay the response instead of voicing concerns. Can create some space in an emotional environment. Not a good long-term strategy. So we know in each of our clubs, it is pretty much like the fate of every service club, and our challenge as a leader, how we are going to increase the percentage of involvement of our members. Most of the non-profit organizations, including Rotary Club, 10% of the people doing 90% of the job. So our goal as leaders is how are we going to increase that 10%? Maybe as a goal, next year I will make sure like we have 20% people getting involved and slowly getting increased. And there are some great examples in my home club, Cambridge Sunset. And it's a brand new club, right? Like it's 2 years. So we didn't have any opportunity to do the fundraising. And then one of the opportunity was bingo. And what happened? And our incoming president, Nicole, who is in the audience today, she made it a point like every meeting passionately talking about bingo. And today we have 100% member involvement in the fundraising program, right? Which is very, very odd. Like 100% every member of our club are expected to attend this. It's a mandatory. And for some reason, if they don't believe in getting the fundraising money from bingo operation, what we say is you don't need to go there in person, so you can take care of administration role. In the sense like reminding people who's supposed to be there or something. So it is accommodating everybody so that like we can achieve 100%. And if that fundraising effort can be transformed into service projects, and just imagine, and then most of the time, whether it is Rotary, whether it is politics, they always say like, you need to ask, right? So as a new member, they might be little shy and not knowing. And every club, like we have people, part of Rotary for 20 years or 30 years, and they know like exactly what needs to be done. But that needs to be the succession planning aspect of it to how to involve everybody in the club. So not by avoiding it, by talking about it, understanding it, accepting it, and then do something about it. Collaborating. Collaborators are both assertive and cooperative. Assert own views while also listening to other views and welcoming differences. Seek a win-win outcome. And in Rotary, it is a win-win-win. Always whatever we do, it has direct impact on the community we live and serve. So it is a win-win-win. It needs to be. Identifying underlying concerns of a conflict, create room for multiple ideas, requires time and effort from both parties. Competing. We all know some people in our own clubs. We are not going to name anybody for any of this. People who approach conflict in a competitive way assert themselves and do not cooperate while pursuing their own concerns at another's expense. Takes on a win-lose approach, where one person wins and one person loses. Doesn't rely on cooperation with the other party to reach outcome. May be appropriate for emergencies when time is important, but not for every day. Compromising. The compromisers are moderately assertive and moderately cooperative. They try to find fast, mutually acceptable solutions to conflicts that partially satisfy both parties. Results in a lose-lose approach, appropriate temporary solution, considered an easy way out when you need more time to collaborate to find a better solution. So which one is the best? For any conflict situation, adding on to all of that, you need two to tango. So the conflict doesn't happen with just one person's point of view or actions. You need two people when the conflict arises. So there is no best way to handle conflict. Each conflict is different and requires a different response. As a society, we teach two heads are better than one, which is collaborating. Kill your enemies with kindness, accommodating. Split the difference, compromising. Leave well enough alone, which is avoiding. Might makes right, which is competing. So we have a thing for every situation here. So now, excuse me for this slide. I think I shouldn't prepare after 12 o'clock. It was right in my laptop. So here, I want to we have 8 tables here. And if the 9th table along the back, they are welcome to participate as well, because the leadership is learning every day. It doesn't matter whether we are governor, past governor, or governor-elect. We all face different situations on a day-to-day basis. So now, I want a group session. If you can discuss anything happened based on your personal experience in your club, how it was addressed and how it got resolved, or is it resolved? Do you need some help from the district? So I'll give you 5 minutes to have a group discussion within your own table, and then we will talk about it, continue this. Thank you.
Could you flip that to me just for a moment?
So I'm in page.
How did you resolve?
This one?
Yes, please.
You want me to speak about it? Okay. We don't small talk, so we get a lot of This one charity came out to speak.